I, 19M, just got a very random call from my 19F girlfriend's dad and I don't know how to process it. He called me controlling and said I need to watch my steps or else I would lose my GF. Me, girlfriend Katie, GF stat Mark. So I just got a very random call from Mark. I've been dating Katie for about 2 years now and tonight I just received a very random call from her dad. He said he wanted to voice some concerns he has about me. He started off by calling me controlling and brought up 2 reasons. The first one was when Katie went over to her sister's one night. I knew about this and supported it all the way. While there she had 2 glasses of wine which I again supported and knew about. We have a system where we ask permission from each other to drink since we are both underage and like to be safe about it. This system was Katie's idea. The problem happened when her sister posted a video of Katie drinking on her public Instagram story where Katie's family can see. I told Katie when she got home that I think that should be taken down because we don't want her family to see it, but that if she wanted it to stay up that's her decision. Mark called my controlling over this whole situation but I really don't feel like I was. The other issue happened this previous weekend. Me and Katie made plans 2 weeks ago to help my grandma decorate the tree on Saturday. Mark then asked Katie on Thursday 2 days before we were supposed to go up to my grandma's to come up with him for the weekend to spend some time together. When Katie brought this up to me she seemed reluctant to go and I said well we promised my grandma we would go up this weekend, how about you go to your dad's next weekend, and we agreed this would work. Mark told me that I should not be getting in the way of him and his daughter and that I was being too controlling and that I will lose Katie if I keep acting this way. He also went on some rant where he was very against me and Katie getting an apartment sometime around her 2nd year in college, saying that he would not allow it until she was done with college and that he would rather have her life with a group of girls so she can focus on her education. Honestly I'm just so shocked this all happened and I'm so confused. I don't feel like either of these were controlling and I just feel so blindsided. I have never had a problem with Mark, we have always been on good terms, so I don't know where this came from. Too long didn't read. My GF stat called me controlling for 2 incidents that happened that me and my GF did not have a problem with and told me I will not be allowed to move in with his daughter or even talk about it until she graduates college. Edit, her sister was the one who posted on her Instagram story and it was without the consent of my girlfriend. The only way Mark knows about any of this stuff at such granular detail is if Katie has told him. And that means either she's complaining about you to her dad or they just talk a lot and he's taking it on himself to get protective over these 2 non-issues. Either way, talk to your GF. Either she's unhappy and you 2 need to figure out how to solve the problem, or she needs to stop oversharing with her dad about every single little thing you 2 decide/do/say in your relationship. He could only know these things if Katie told him, so ask yourself why he's doing that. Honestly, the first one does sound controlling, if well-intentioned. Neither of you should have to ask permission to drink. In the second case, I think it's likely she didn't feel comfortable telling her dad she didn't want to see him, so used you as an excuse. That's bad if she wants you 2 to have a good relationship. On reflection, I also wonder if she did this in the first instance, e.g. said to the sister boyfriend says you have to delete this. If she's doing this then the problem lies with her. Get off Reddit and go talk to your girlfriend about this, about all this. Cause 2 very different possible scenarios are in play here and you cannot get a serious game plan on how to respond until you figure out which one is actually the truth. 1. Katie is not happy about how controlling you are and will often talk about it with her family, but not you. If this is the case, then you and your girlfriend need to have some honest conversations about how to fix this problem. She needs to be able to come to you directly if there are issues, especially this far into a relationship. 2. Her dad is fucking out of his mind and you and Katie need to be on the same page about this because he's likely trying to break the 2 of you up by working on you separately. She needs to know her dad is doing his best to sabotage a healthy relationship and that the problem is with him not understanding that his daughter is becoming an adult and his role in her life is becoming advisory instead of supervisory. Either way, You have to tell Katie about this phone call and have a long conversation with her about how to proceed. I told Katie when she got home that I think that should be taken down because we don't want her family to see it, but that if she wanted it to stay up, that's her decision. How does Mark even know about you telling her this? The thing about Katie going to help you with your grandma's tree instead of spending the weekend with Mark seems more like Mark getting butthurt he's not getting his way, not about you controlling Katie. How does Mark even know about you telling her this? Girlfriend gives me the impression of a chatty people pleaser. She'll tell her dad the stuff that's going on in her life, but then when he thinks she should do something different than what her and Op had planned, she'll make it seem like things were more upside down to avoid conflict with her dad. Her dad sounds like the controlling one. But also, how does he know about the first incident unless she talked to him about it? I would sit down with her and have a conversation and ask if she has felt that you are behaving in a controlling manner, and if so, what you can do to help her not feel that way. If you two are on the same page, then I'd chalk it up to her dad not wanting her to date and wanting to remain in control of her life. Boyfriend keeps taking pictures of female friend. My F21 boyfriend M29 has one female friend he just met. She comments under all his Instagram posts. He's into skateboarding. She recently got into skateboarding and keeps posting about it. From her social media, it's a new hobby. She comments on all his statuses too, making jokes. He hates mustard and she will say, "You make me want to shove mustard in your face," to which he will go, "You make me want to kick a baby." Then she will say, "You make me want to kick an amp." When they are together, he loves to take embarrassing pictures of her and post them on his story. Say if she looks goofy or bad, he will take video and she will say, "Stop taking pics of me." I confronted him about it and he said I was being controlling. That's he's allowed to have female friends. To me this sounds like a crush. I may be over-examining because I'm very traditional, but I don't want her in our lives. How should I handle this? Does it sound like a crush? Am I overthinking? Too long didn't read. BF and his female friend tease each other and he constantly takes embarrassing pics of her. I don't want to sound controlling, but his actions toward his new friend make me uncomfortable. It sounds like they have an new relationship energy. I don't know if one or both is crushing on the other, but I don't believe you're wrong to be concerned. He's either into her or likes how she makes him feel. But the real issue isn't her, it's him. He's the one in a relationship and flirting with another girl. What's worse is how he reacted when you talked to him about it. He protected the new relationship and called you controlling. Sorry, but he isn't a keeper. He didn't have this energy with me, which makes it 10x worse. Girl, I saw your other posts. You were a side chick before became the main chick, as you stated previously. He was cheating on his ex with your, and now he's doing the same thing, except this time in front of your face. You said you aren't public, and yet he shares her pics in public on social media. He found the public GF. I am not trying to offend you, but the only reason you became the main chick was that his ex left him. If she didn't, maybe this guy would leave you. This relationship won't work out. He's a cheater jerk and you should not trust him. Everyone deserves better. If you don't leave him, he will soon leave you for her anyways. Oh shit, the tea is hot. Face with monocle. Your boyfriend is too old to not understand the basics of a relationship. When it comes down to it, it's about respecting each other's boundaries. If he can't respect what you're saying and how you're feeling, then you need to bounce because it won't get better. If he was your age, I'd say different, but he's a grown-ass man. I've been there and it feels fucking awful. It's low-key jealousy, but at the same time there's actual evidence in front of you, so I don't think you're being dramatic. I think in my case, when I saw my boyfriend with his girlfriends doing those things, it hurt, mostly, because I didn't feel like he did the same things with me. I'm not saying friends and partners should do the same things, but I felt like it didn't seem like we had as much fun together. It always seemed like he liked spending time with other people more, or at least that's what everyone could see online. I think what you're feeling is 100% normal, and if your boyfriend calls you controlling, he's not being understanding enough. My 27F boyfriend 28M, is obsessed with my ex, 27M. We've been together for 2 years, and before this, I would say our relationship was very close to perfect. At the beginning of the year though, my boyfriend and I were at the grocery store and we bumped into my ex and another friend. This was the first time they had ever met each other. We made polite conversation before going our separate ways. My boyfriend made a sarcastic comment about how nice my ex was when he was out of earshot. I didn't think much of it at the time. A few weeks after this, I noticed he was on my ex's Facebook page. When I asked him what he was doing, he shrugged it off and said he was curious because he saw my ex had commented on Luke's, a mutual friend of ours and my ex's, post. He's since friended him on there and claimed my ex was the one to initiate it. He's followed him on Instagram and Twitter too. He comments on a lot of his posts too, but my ex rarely comments back. He also somehow got Luke to invite him to my ex and his friends' weekly virtual hangouts. I mentioned I found it weird that they were hanging out, but he dismissed it and said it wasn't a big deal. He's also started talking about changing his career path to what my ex is doing and makes snide comments about if his dad paid his way for him, he could take me on fancy trips too. He's also become incredibly passive-aggressive towards me and makes comments about how if my ex didn't move abroad for a few years we probably would never have dated. If I say no to anything, including sex, he comments about how he bets I wouldn't say no if my ex was the one asking. He also got really sulky when he realized I still had a gift my ex gave me. Yesterday we had a massive fight over it because I wanted to spend time together, but he ditched me to go hang out with my ex. I got so upset I told him he might as well date my ex instead. I don't really know what to do now. He's giving me the silent treatment and I heard him tell my ex what I said, which is really humiliating. What can I do to make him stop hanging out with my ex? Too long didn't read. My boyfriend is weirdly obsessed with my ex and has gone out of his way to join his friendship circle. He's also become passive-aggressive towards me since spending more time with him. I dunno man, I don't think I'd even want to date someone who reached this level of stalker obsession with my ex. Maybe it's for the best to just end things. He clearly needs professional help for his insecurities. Don't think a relationship is healthy for him right now. Red flags all around. It sounds like your guy is deeply insecure and channeling that insecurity into loathing. He's already taking it out on you, manipulating you, pressuring you in the bedroom, even attempting to turn your seemingly amicable ex on you. He's pushing your boundaries, and his demands are impossible. Nothing you do will fix his insecurity, and so he will continue to lash out and demean you. I know because I have been there. This relationship sounds nothing close to perfect. I sincerely hope you distance yourself from him and get some perspective. Best of luck. If you want to be so much like my ex, I will just break up with you too. Your boyfriend is clearly going through some things that he's not prepared to discuss with you like an adult, so I'd take this to a couples counselor. If your boyfriend won't go, dump him. You deserve so much better than this.